Hi, this is Peggy from Roar. So today I'm joined by Dan Budreau and not Budreau. Am I pronouncing that right, Dan?
Uh, close. It's Budreau.
Budreau. Sorry, I knew I would have difficulty saying it. And Dan is the Chief Revenue Officer at CAARY. He joined the organization quite recently. So thank you so much, Dan, for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. Really looking forward to the chat.
That's great. So do you want to tell us a bit more about your professional journey? You've been in financial services, I would say your whole life, and you moved recently to CAARY. What have you done? Why are you moving? Why did you move? Do you want to tell us more about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to your point, definitely financial services where my career has been, and specifically at American Express. So definitely would say I've really grown up within American Express, nearly 2 decades there. Had some amazing opportunities when I first went there. I'd say early on, I was lucky enough to be very close to the customers. So early on, I focused on the U.S. market and specifically around within the World Service Organization. Then I had an opportunity to work really closely with a lot of our top Canadian business travel and corporate card customers, and really got close to those accounts, did a lot of like surveys to their customer base, have a good understanding around kind of client satisfaction, and then was able to kind of go back to those clients and really recommend action plans on how we really could take the service to the next level. Because that was one thing at Amex I really appreciated, is being a service brand. We really got close to our customer. And then from there, I held a variety of roles for the Canadian market, both from a marketing and sales capacity, and really got close to the acquisition side of things, building out a demand strategy, having very focused segmentation strategies from an industry perspective. And then I also had an opportunity to work in an international division as we were building a footprint for small business internationally, which was great to really touch base with colleagues in Australia and the UK, and really kind of a lot of kind of the emerging markets. And there we were really able to scale up a small business B2B division, and really over kind of the last 5-10 years, both from a sales and marketing, really had the opportunity to be close to that, see it kind of grow from pretty much from the start into a very robust B2B business. And then as far as why CAARY, I mean, it was very interesting. I mean, I was lucky enough that in the financial world, as you know, it can quickly become a small world as you get people that kind of travel around. So I was lucky enough that Salil and I have a mutual friend so that's kind of literally how I got introduced to CAARY. But as far as kind of why CAARY, I would say, I mean, it starts with the people. I mean, funny enough, you actually know more of the people at CAARY than I do as far as kind of long-term relationships. But like and I wouldn't say interview, I'd say every chat I had with everyone around the business, it was engaging. I was learning things. You could tell that they really kind of had their pulse on the business based on the questions that they're asking. So I would say it starts with the people. I also love that it's a Canadian startup. I think it's pretty neat. I'm a very proud Canadian. So the fact that this is starting here, and that's a trend that I love to see with all the different companies that are starting in Canada, especially from a tech perspective. So I thought that was really unique. And for me, it gave me an opportunity to go from a corporate world to a startup, but in a business that I really know. Like the B2B payments business is something that I really know. And I would say the last reason for why CAARY for me would be really around the market need. I think the nice thing about kind of the emerging fintechs that are coming into the space is they're really identifying opportunities to serve more businesses within Canada. So to be part of that, and honestly, I think the need for it, like COVID's devastating so many businesses. So the need for innovative solutions to help help aid and grow businesses. I think over the next 3 to 5 years, we're never going to have a greater need to support this business segment. So to be part of that initial team that's going to scale this business and work with companies that really need the services and partner with others where we can kind of bring together solutions for the business, I think it's a pretty amazing opportunity. And the last thing I would say is, myself and a lot of my colleagues in my Amex days, we often ask somebody, like, what if you owned, like during interviews, we'd ask, like, what if you owned American Express? What if you had your own credit card company? And like, obviously I can't go do that by myself, but with a group of people attached to this, getting in where there's less than 10 people and truly being a big part of growing a credit card company, it's a pretty unique experience. And I'm really, really looking forward to working with everyone.
Yeah, that's a fantastic opportunity that seems it's a perfect match for you, and for them, the expertise you're bringing to the table. And you're absolutely right, Canadian tech, of course we've seen in the last few years we're doing extremely well, but also, to your point, being instrumental in helping SMBs coming back, or rebuilding for some of them from COVID. That's a very, very strong incentive. So, and it's interesting because the feedback I received since I've been working with CAARY in the last 2-3 weeks is so positive. People really want the solutions, and I'm sure you have a wait list that is growing every day, but I see a lot of excitement. And we're not in that situation of a solution looking for a problem. It's a massive problem, and you're bringing a solution. So I think that's great. Would you like to share a bit more? So as I mentioned, your Chief Revenue Officer, on your thoughts on what you're going to do to really bring CAARY to market.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people like to talk about kind of an omni-channel approach, and they do it for a reason, because I really think we have to look at a variety of different channels, and kind of within those channels, a variety of different ways for our customers and prospects to be able to kind of engage with us and make sure it's a smooth, seamless journey for them. So having that said, I mean, at the highest level, we're gonna, I mean, I would say it starts with, we're gonna build a great sales organization. Mm-hmm. I would say, like, if we look at what that channel is really going to focus on, I would say they're definitely going to be focusing on some of the customers that are going to be doing larger expenditures on the card. They're going to be working closely with them. It'll be a longer sales cycle. They'll need to really identify their needs. It'll be very much, I would say, a cost of goods sold strategy. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'd say over the last 10-15 years, there's really been that journey for a lot of the companies in this space, going from like traditional kind of corporate card was, hey, your travel and entertainment mm-hmm. expenditures go on it, where that'll always kind of be part of it. And thankfully, as we get past COVID, they'll start to be more travel. But I would say sales team will really focus on the cost of goods sold and really helping people kind of run their business to be able to put as much of their accounts payable on the corporate MasterCard that we'll have in market. The other thing I would say is partnerships, and partnerships can have partnerships as a channel. I mean, that's a very broad term for what's probably going to mean a whole bunch of different things for us. I think it kind of starts with, who are some of the partners that have already had success in this space and are already working with some of the companies that we want to work with. So we've definitely been busy talking to a lot of different companies, really giving them kind of an overview of what CAARY will be about, but also getting their pulse on what do these customers need, what are some of the kind of nuances that we may not think about. So I think the more partners that we have that work with kind of the mutual customers that we want to deal with, the more we learn about the customer and the better we can serve that customer. Yeah. And then the last kind of broad category I would say would be digital. So we need to have a good social presence. We need it for it to be easy for customers to find out about CAARY, interact with CAARY. And then we'll definitely use digital as an acquisition channel as well, across. And like I say, I mean, digital is very broad. I don't want to get into too much of that because there's too many digital experts that know that industry more than me. But I think overall, just to kind of summarize that, we need a great sales channel. We need great partners. We need a good digital presence. And then within all three of those, we can go in a lot of different directions. And then from an industry perspective, I would say that will be very driven based on finding the right partners and finding the right times to enter specific industries. But it'll be a lot of trying to capture the cost of goods sold, the shipping, the advertising, that are like shipping and advertising are getting bigger and bigger from an opportunity for us. So especially with the current climate. So yeah. So at a high level, I would say those are the channels that we're going to kind of be a big part of our omni-channel approach.
That's great. And, I think that's a very smart move to go in the COGS or cost of goods sold, area versus the traditional, travel expenses and small expenses. I think there is a lot of flags in that direction. So, I mean, that makes tons of sense. I just want to mention as well that the campaign on Funder, the fundraising campaign has been on fire. It's been 3 weeks and you're close to 90%. When I looked this morning, it was 80%. I mean, in 3 weeks for a 2 million raise, I don't think I've ever seen numbers like that. So congratulations. I guess that's a testament to the team and your strategy.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we're super excited. I mean, it's been interesting. I've only been on board for 2 weeks, but I've fielded a lot of questions about that campaigns from friends of mine that saw that I went from Amex and now I'm at CAARY, and they were very interested in kind of hearing the story. So definitely part of that percentage, funny enough, it has come from some of my friends, but it's awesome. I mean, the fact that those investing in the company understand the need. Also, quite a few, like, we're seeing a bit of like our wait list as well as the investors are kind of one and the same, because they're throwing a few dollars in, but then they want to also kind of get the experience themselves and early on kind of see how their investment's doing. So having friends and family investing is just going to add that extra level of pressure, but we welcome it because I think the opportunity is going to be great.
Yeah, and I would advise everyone who's looking at it not to wait too long, because it might become a bit challenging unless you can put very large check to wait until the next round. So it's wonderful. Well, Dan, thank you so much for taking the time, to share your journey, which is very impressive and seems again like a perfect match. And your strategy, which also makes so much sense. So thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Peggy. Likewise, I really look forward to working with you, because I know you're helping out a ton from a CAARY perspective and have great experience. So thank you very much.
No, thank you, and see you very soon. Bye, Dan.
Thanks, Peggy. Bye.